back at the 20-yard line. How many sacks is that, Bob Layden? That's 3 sacks tonight.
They had 48 coming into this game tonight on the season. That ranked them 4th in the CFL. The depth on the Ticats is improving. Rod Skillman able to come in, as Pat told you, with an injury. And, well, you've got to have guys like that around on your reserve list that can come in and do a job. And he's been one of the better defensive performers for them this evening.
Rod Skillman, as a rookie last year, was selected the best first-year player on the Hamilton Ticat squad. He did not win it overall in the league, but at least he showed that he was capable of playing. As we take a look at Rick Johnson, the Calgary Stampeder quarterback, who doesn't look like he's with us at this point.
Yeah, he just gets ground right into the turf by Rod Skillman on that right shoulder, the throwing shoulder, and on that arm you see trainer Pat Clayton attending to him. The backup quarterback tonight is Greg Vavra, and he will be in the ball game wearing number 13. Well, tomorrow we're all heading to Montreal for that big battle between the Edmonton Eskimos and the Montreal Concords. Of course, we told you numerous times tonight, if the Ticats lose, that game will take on greater meaning. Edmonton, well, they're going to use it as a tune-up for their semifinal game that they'll play next weekend in Winnipeg.
And I love those Eskimos. I think they have as good a team as any in the CFL at this point.
Yep, big change for them when they went back to that 4-3 defense. They played great ever since.
Vavra's pass was intended for Greg Fieger. He wasn't able to squeeze it. It's unfortunate that Rick Johnson took that hit in the head, but it's a good opportunity for Bud Riley to get Greg Vavra in there, because Johnson really hasn't done much so far this evening anyway.
Vavra on the season, 45% completion percentage, 5 interceptions, 1 touchdown. All Calgary quarterbacks, and that includes Joe Barnes, who is now with the Montreal Concords, have not collectively had a good year.
The problem, Pat, is the shoulder, the right throwing shoulder, and that's what the doctor is examining now. As soon as we get an answer, we'll let you know.
I thought his head had bounced off the turf after Skillman had thrown him to the ground. So it was his shoulder. This is Wayne Lee, and Lee gets to the 45-yard line, not much further. Ask him if he's got a headache, too, because he took a...
You won't be wrong, will you?
Well, have I ever been before?
No, you never have, that I can recall.
Isn't that funny how one guy's never wrong? Ah, well.
I think Antoine seems a little upset here tonight. At the 44-yard line is where the Hamilton Ticats will put it into play. They lead it by a point, 18-17, with 2:35 left to play in the third quarter. The handoff goes to Steve Jackson, his first carry of the ball game, number 74. And there's a look at Rick Johnson. They're going to examine that shoulder problem that Bill Stevenson alluded to moments ago. Could be a collarbone, having broken 5 of them myself.
Leaf Poley just came over to me. He said, will you tell Leaf to come on downstairs and join the party?
Oh, sure. Tell him I'll be right there.
Johnny Shepard. First down, Ticats. Into the Calgary 51-yard line. Knox Culpepper was there to make the stop, along with Greg Peterson. 77 and 24 combined to bring down Johnny Shepard.
Now, Johnny Shepard, when he gets in that open field, is an electrifying performer, as we saw a couple of years ago when he broke into the CFL. And tonight, their success has been the running of Ken Hobart and the running of Johnny Shepard after he's taken those little dump-off passes.
First down, Ticats. 1:15 left. The handoff goes to Shepard, but he lost his footing as he got to the line of scrimmage, and he dives ahead for about a yard. Ken Miller, number 21, was there to make sure that he didn't go any further. So they put a little ice on the shoulder of quarterback Rick Johnson.
The word is this, Pat. It is a minor separation. He'll be out for the game.
Well, that's too bad, because nobody wants to end the season on a note like that. Hobart's pass Was intended for Steve Jackson, but it goes incomplete. So the Ticats will be punting on 3rd and 9 with just 37 seconds left to play in this third quarter.
You know what happened, Pat? When he hit his head, the vibration went down to the shoulder, and that caused the separation.
See, that's what I thought. It was probably something like that.
You were right.
Thank you, Bill. So Bernie Ruoff will be punting on 3rd and 9. And Mel Jenkins awaits at the 10-yard line. Excuse me, that's Richie Hall. Hall gets to the 15 and not much further. And that's where the Stampeders will put it into play. Leaf is back from having his refreshments. Going to make a comment in this quarter or not, Leaf?
I'm not sure.
We're down to 22 seconds left to play in this third quarter. It's an 18-17 ball game in favor of Hamilton, and Richie Hall, who returned that punt, was shaken up on the play. Bud Riley wondering, well, can we pull this one out of the fire or not? They've had their chances because they were ahead at the half, 17-8, but the Ticats have fought back here in the third quarter and have picked up 10 unanswered points.
What do you think? Bud be back as head coach next year?
Not a chance.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Not a chance.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Pat, I was going to say, you were talking about Bud and what he was thinking, and you would have to be a mind reader, because if there's one coach who doesn't tell you what he's thinking by the look on his face, it's got to be Bud Riley.
No,
he rarely changes expression.
That's right. You wouldn't know if he was 50 points up or 50 points down. Richie Hall, number 27, gets to his feet and limps off the field with Pat Clayton giving him some assistance. And there's Bud. Good fellow, though, from Oklahoma State University, Bud Riley.
He's one of the gentlemen in Canadian football, Pat, and he's been in the league for many, many, many years, as we have stated before.
I always thought he took kind of a shafting in Winnipeg. I didn't think he should get axed there, but the media did a job on
Well,
him.
he put together some great teams with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He brought Dieter Brock to Canada.
Yep. The pass was very nearly picked up. Terry Lane, number 37, had it in his hands but couldn't squeeze it. And, you know, if you talk to coaches in the CFL, they'll tell you that Bud was the guy who brought that inside game to the offenses of the Canadian Football League. Those two inside receivers that Edmonton really took advantage of and built all their championship teams around.
Well, originally he did it. Got rid of the tight end, 2 slot backs. He had Tommy Scott with him. Originally, that became the prototype for a number of years. Now a little bit of a shift with guys like Ray Elgard and Nick Araki to the bigger, more combination slot back tight end, but still very effective.
Emmanuel Tolbert took that pass coming across the middle, got to the 24-yard line, but he'll be short of the first down as the third quarter comes to an end with the Hamilton Ticats out in front of the Calgary Stampeders 18-17. We'll be back, well, as we begin the fourth quarter of play with Hamilton out in front of Calgary 18-17. J.T. Hayes stands in punt formation to see if he can get the Stampeders out of a hole. Pretty good kick. This is Wayne Lee. And Lee crosses midfield, gets into Calgary territory at the 51-yard line. And that's where Kenny Hobart and the Ticats will put it into play. They lead it by a point. They'd love to pick up another touchdown here. Let's take a look at our Chevrolet three-quarter statistical story. 196 for Hamilton total yards, 129 for Calgary. And if you take away that 70-yard pass early in the first quarter, you can see that the Stampeders have only picked up 59 yards since that time.
Well, Rick Johnson only 3 for 19, so you can see the ineffectiveness of the passing game for the Stampeders.
Johnny Shepard, with some determined running, crosses the 50 and gets into the 58. Only picks up 3, but it goes to show you that sometimes you don't get a lot of yardage, but you sure display your talents well, and that's what Shepard did on that occasion.
Well, Bill Shepard in this third quarter has 5 receptions for 85 yards, so he's really been the workhorse offensively for the Ticats.
Just got to say, Leaf and Pat, that he seems to be running like he's completely healthy, which is the big news for the Cats.
On second down, Hobart's pass goes incomplete. He was looking for Steve Stapler. Boy, his statistical story in this game has got to be unimpressive, too.
That's a pass you've got to complete. Steve Stapler wide open on that quick out on a 2nd and 5 situation. Got to be able to complete that, and he just really made a bad throw.
He's completed 12 of 28, but many of those have been those swing passes to Johnny Shepard. As Bernie Ruoff stands back to punt. Ooh, beauty. Oh, the Stampeders are happy that Rob Bresciani was able to get that one back. He initially fumbled the punt from Ruoff, but then was able to pick it up.
So many times, once you initially fumble a football, you just have a tough time picking it back up. Bresciani was able to do so here.
Got a penalty marker, Leaf, on the play. And as you pointed out, he was extremely fortunate to get that ball back. Now, the situation was 3rd and about 5.5 yards to go.
I suspect it's an offside or something, because they're looking at the first down marker saying if we take the 5, we can have a 3rd down gamble and go for it. We'll wait and see what Jake Ireland tells us, but
yeah, you're right. They're going to take the 5 yards because I think they'll only have about a 1.5 feet to go for the first down. Number 28 is Mel Jenkins.
Offside. Calgary number 28. 3rd down repeated.
Okay, so it's 3rd down, 1.5 yards to go, or excuse me, 1.5 feet to go. Ken Hobart likely to keep it himself. Why risk the exchange? That's what he does. I always get a kick out of the defensive unit, though. Kenny Miller signaling, no chance that he got it. They're going to bring the sticks out. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't have the first down.
boy, he didn't get it.
Boy, he didn't get much of a spot, did he?
Well, I agree with you there. I just assumed when he took the sneak that he had it no problem.
And Kenny Hobart is talking it over with Jake Ireland. He just can't believe this. I mean, he's smiling, saying, you know, let's take a look at that.
Well, he had a 1.5 feet to go, and
well, that's the funny thing about football. They're so precise with the measurement, and yet the official will run up and stomp his foot down, and you can never be sure. Greg Vavra is dropped back at the 35-yard line by Grover Covington.
well, that's his 16th sack of 1985, and I play with Grover, and he's a great guy to have on a ball club. All the other players really look up to him. He's a pretty quiet, unassuming guy and leads by example out there, and his example has been 16 sacks and the leader on that defensive front.
Grover at 6'3", 252 pounds, had another outstanding year, and this is 5th season. Beverly, the ball carrier, gets to the 40-yard line, and now things getting a little tough. Bob Poley in the middle of things for Calgary.
Yeah, he took a shot at Terry Lean, and I don't blame him. At the end of the play, Terry Lean took a pretty good shot at Dwight Beverly, and Poley objected to that, and I think Dwight Beverly's having a little chat with him, too.
Now, did you play with Bob Poley in Regina when you were there?
Yeah.
He always impressed me as a very nice guy, but
happy-go-lucky.
But like I would never want to meet him in a dark alley. He looks like he could be ferocious.
I don't think that's the kind of fun, Pat, that he wanted Leaf to come down and join them in either. Leaf was never very good at that, I understand.
No. Bob wanted me to come down and have a few pops with him after the game. I know that.
Good punt by J.T. Hay. And this is Wayne Lee at the 25. He dodges a couple of tacklers and gets to the 30-yard line, which is where the Ticats are going to put it into play when we come back. Hamilton hanging on to a 1-point lead over the Stampeders. We'll be back in a moment. 18-17, Hamilton leading Calgary. 12 minutes, 2 seconds left to play in the ball game. If you've just joined us, the Ticats can win first place in the Eastern Conference with a victory here tonight. If not, it'll all be decided tomorrow in Montreal, where the Concords will play host to the Edmonton Eskimos, and we'll have that game for you on the full CTV network beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Ken Hobart has gone all the way at quarterback for Hamilton, and why not? He's the man that turned the franchise around about a month and a half ago. His pass is complete to Rocky DiPietro, and Rocky gets over the 35 to about the 37-yard line for a pickup of 7 yards before Greg Peterson and Mel Jenkins, 24 and 28, combined to bring him down.
Rocky just tries to sneak underneath those linebackers, gets by Culpepper, but Greg Peterson and Mel Jenkins are able to come up and put the stop on him. But that's at least better than they've been doing. Ticats horrendous tonight on first down plays. That time 8 yards or so on first down puts them in a much better position.
Hobart again on the quarterback draw, does not get to the 40-yard line. He's going to be short by a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what the Ticats elect to do, and they're sending out the punting unit. Time is called by referee Jake Ireland. But they are definitely short. They gambled and lost last time. But Leaf, don't you feel that this game is a real mirror of the Ticat season? 17-8 was the score at halftime. The Hamilton defense has completely shut down Calgary here in the second half. Stampeders don't have a first down, and the offense has generated sufficient, mileage to get some points. Now they lead 18-17.
Well, their whole game plan has been predicated all season long on defense, and your interpretation is absolutely true. That's how this game has gone and pretty much their whole season. They play the good, tough defense, get the turnovers. And the turnovers have been the big story of Hamilton's year, because offensively they are not near the top in any categories. But the defense has put them in good position so many times that the offense has taken advantage of it enough to give them a shot at finishing in first place.
Isn't it amazing? Hobart now with his 101 yards rushing tonight has rushed for 925 yards. Who would have ever believed a quarterback would do that in the CFL? Greg Vavra's pass goes over the head, and a flag comes down about 15 seconds after Ray Alexander was on the turf. Now Alexander was pleading for a call. None was forthcoming, and then many seconds after the ball was over his head, a flag came down.
Al Bruno's halfway out in the field too. He can't believe it. I think he deposited his headset on the field and smashed it up. Donovan Rose is going to get an interference penalty, and boy, that was they're going to get a penalty added on as well, maybe an objectionable conduct penalty.
Well, that was a very weird call. I'm not suggesting that it wasn't interference, but it took so long for the flag to be thrown.
Let's see what Jake Ireland comes up with.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton number 26. Major foul. Roughing the passer. Hamilton number 31. First down.
Okay, so the pass interference is against Donovan Rose, and then the roughing by Ben Zambiazzi. Watch it. Wow.
Boy, did he take a shot.
Well, Dwight Beverly carries the ball for the Stampeders and gets it inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line for a pickup of 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4. Now, this is a critical football game and a critical time in the game for both these clubs, but it's so critical for the Ticats, who are clinging to a 1-point lead and trying to win the Eastern Conference. It's 2nd down, 4 yards to go. Vavra gives to Beverly, but Ben Zambiazzi slashed through there to drop him back to the line of scrimmage at the 26-yard line, and we will see J.T. Hay. Boy, the tempers are really heating up now.
Dwight Beverly made a real big mistake on the last play. He started pushing around Rod Skillman, and I think that really incensed some of the Ticats. Ben Zambiazzi from his middle linebacking spot, the team's leading tackler, makes the big play on 2nd down, but Beverly has got the members of that defense a little upset.
But J.T. Hay is in a position right now to give the Stampeders the lead once again, despite the fact that the only first down they have picked up has come by a penalty in this second half. Kick will come from the 33-yard line. J.T. Hay puts it up, and it is wide. Howard Fields running around back there. There is a penalty marker on the field. Fields was knocked out of bounds by Bob Poley. There is no flag there, but there is a flag back at the line of scrimmage. Now, the situation prior to the kick was it was 3rd and 6. Let's wait and see.
If you come right down to it, I think you could honestly say that the best railroaders are with CP Rail, from what I've witnessed. I'm trying not to be prejudiced. There's a lot of us that take pride in our job.
The yardmen, the enginemen, the trainmen are all professionals. We're all professionals in a vocation. It's much different than anything else.
They work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They could be called at 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and they're very adaptable and flexible bunch of people.
I work the CP railway line. I go where the steel rail guides me. I'm bound to haul a heavy load down an independent road. I work the CP railway line. CP rail. CP rail.
CP Rail, helping Canada move forward.
Timing. It can be critical. Sometimes just when things seem to be going smoothly, there's a sudden change in life's direction. Decisions have to be made quickly, decisively. Whatever the situation, graduation, marriage, a new job, a family, Crown Life is there to help you make the right move at the right time. Crown Life, official insurer to Expo 86.
Well, J.T. Hay, after this field goal attempt, was knocked by Les Brown. Les Brown should have just left him alone. Very needless penalty to take. It's given the Calgary Stampeders an automatic first down.
At the 17-yard line, and Fabra had no chance. The ball comes loose, and the Stampeders get it back. This has really become now a scrum. Paul Palmer, just a minute, Bill. Paul Palmer came up with that recovery for the Calgary Stampeders back at the 25-yard line.
Pat, I was going to say that on that replay, it showed that there was definitely the Hamilton player, Brown, was definitely pushed into the kicker. And that's what Hamilton is beefing about.
Well, we'll take a look at it one more time if we have an opportunity. It didn't look that way to me, but... And Fabra is dropped back at the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at it one more time because this is going to be a critical play in this ball game.
Well, it sure doesn't appear to me that he's pushed into him. Let's see. No way. Bernie Morrison hits him, but Les Brown, it was easy for him to avoid the contact. That's just a dumb penalty.
Well, it's still 18-17. J.T. Hay is out on the field. Now his field goal attempt will come from the 37-yard line. Boy, I'll tell you, the Ticats are fired up. They have just been swarming the Calgary offense the last few plays. And Moyer doesn't get an opportunity to put it down if, in fact, they were going to try the field goal. Do you think it was a fake?
No, I don't think it was a fake.
No. I don't think he had an opportunity to get it down cleanly. J.T. Hay doesn't get a chance at the field goal, and the Hamilton Ticats take over because of a stout defense.
No, he definitely just mishandled the snap from center, Daryl Moyer, and what a break for the Ticats. The game would have been tied had the original field goal attempt stood, but Al Bruno has to be delirious about this turn of events.
All right, it is Hamilton 18, Calgary 17. Hamilton first down at their own 42-yard line with 7.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Johnny Shepard gets to the 44-yard line for a pickup of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8 Ticats. There's an old adage, you never take points off the scoreboard. And
yeah, I don't believe that adage in that situation.
No,
automatic first down. But
sure.
What Ken Hobart would love to do right now is to try and eat up a little time off this clock. A little over 7 minutes remaining.
They actually gained 3, so it's 2nd and 7, and Hobart's going to try to run for it himself. And he doesn't get it. He's forced out at the 50-yard line. Big play by Anthony Woodson. Tell you, Woodson showed you some speed, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's got 4.6, legitimate 4.6 speed, and able to quite easily outrun and catch up to Ken Hobart. Well, the Stampeders are going to get the football back again. Hamilton not able to sustain any kind of a drive.
However, the Stampeders are going to get it back deep in their own territory, and they simply have not been able to move it here in the second half. Ruoff's punt is handled, but a whistle had gone. Now let's see what this is about. Time may have expired before Ruoff got that punt away.
Well, the 20-second clock's in the corner of the